Welcome to another episode of the world's greatest podcast. I'm back with my fellas. We got a new addition today. My boy Juwan is in the building with us. How y'all doing today, fellas?
I'm good. What's going on? What's going on?
Great.
Straight.
That's what's up.
Getting to the money, man. Every day is a new day.
Y'all staying good. Y'all staying good. Washing y'all hands and all that good stuff. 6 feet. 6 feet, no trick.
Always
social distancing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Need to do that. So the topics we got for today is we're gonna talk about the Rooney Rule. Then we gotta talk about the Jordan documentary. Then we gotta talk about my boy Mike Tyson making his comeback. And then we're gonna have a great debate at the end. So kicking it off, my boy Kari wanted to talk about the Rooney Rule. And the Rooney Rule is basically it's basically the NFL giving black coaches or other coaches that's not white a chance to be a coach in the NFL. So how do y'all feel about that?
Basically they saying that that they changing it or they tweaking the rule a little bit. Basically, it's gonna be I think it was supposed to be some type of incentive. It's gonna be more of an incentive to hire minority coaches or hire them in the front office. So I think it's supposed to be like a different, and I think it's supposed to be going up to the third round picks or something like that. And then I think it didn't even get voted in all the way. I think some of the owners were reluctant or something like that. I don't know if they want more incentives or something, but
Of course.
I don't know. I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, I feel like this should have been happening. Like, I don't know.
I don't know how long this rule has been in effect, but it was only really displayed like
it's
3 times.
Positive step, but at the same time, it took a minute for this to happen, and then even then you got to look at it as they got to add incentives for minority people to get jobs in the NFL.
Right.
To even get a look
on its own.
Right. That's to get an interview. That's to get a shot to even have that position.
It's not a job.
Cool.
That's just to get a look.
I think the Rooney Rule came into play in 2003 or something like that. And then it was 2 or 3 years later, that's when you had the 2 black coaches in the Super Bowl for the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? Now it's 10 plus years later, and this still ain't no major rule change. Ain't nothing really updated till now. So you see what happened when they made the rule. It had a positive impact off Bill, but then after that, nothing happened. So yeah, it just took forever. But then again, like I said, it's still kind of dumb just to have an interview for to get a minority to get a job in the NFL.
The Rooney Rule remind me of Remember the Titans. No matter what he did, they was trying to fire him anyway.
Yeah.
If you look at the black or minority coaches in the league, their lease is a lot shorter than white coaches.
Yeah, big time.
And you got a lot of white coaches who have been terrible.
Steady
getting jobs somewhere else.
I can give y'all
a job somewhere else.
I can give y'all an example of somebody who's been terrible. Y'all want to hear?
Who?
Matt Patricia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's get on Matt Patricia.
Get me started.
This is his first head coach job, bro.
I'm just floating on with what Rich said. That's all I'm doing. I want to support
But this is his first head coaching job. I mean, it's been cats who have been trash.
I mean,
get another job.
Man, perfect example of that. I think y'all already know the king of 7 and 9, Jeff Fisher. How many years? Did they give this man?
He had a long run too.
He was on 7 and 9 every single year, and he had a job every single year
and got contract extensions.
Exactly. It didn't have anything to show for it though. And I'll take it even further. The new coach for the Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, came from Texas Tech. Didn't win nothing. Had a sub 500 record. Didn't win anything. So
now has an NFL head coaching job. And it's crazy how white coaches are just given a bigger opportunity to be successful. When you look at it, and I'll even take it further. all of the major sporting leagues, and I'll say basketball and football, NFL and NBA, at least like 70% of the league is black, and under like 25% of the head coaches are black. Like those numbers don't even add up. So when you're looking at opportunities, it's almost like all the black coaches in those leagues, you almost like you had to have played to be credible in your sport. Whereas white coaches, you don't have to have played in the past to be credible. And that's something that bugs the out of me.
Hey, but the perfect example of that in basketball is Golden State.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was saying Mark Jackson, but
Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr. And I'm not saying Steve Kerr is not a good coach, but that team was built by Mark Jackson.
Built by Mark Jackson. Like, and he took all the credit for that. I mean, I ain't tripping or hating on Kerr, Steve but Kerr. At the same time, Mark Jackson built that. And I was hurt.
But my thing is though, why hasn't Mark Jackson gotten another head coaching job?
They won. Yeah,
they won that first year with Steve Kerr, didn't they? Or the second year?
Yeah,
First
first year.
year.
Okay.
First year.
Second year. Like, that's on trash, bro. Like, that's how would you feel you did something and then all of a sudden you get fired for no reason and you made the playoffs and then somebody else come in, y'all won a ship, and he added what? He ain't only add but what, one or two players on the back end, which is the bench, and that was it. And we're not gonna skip past Matt Patricia comment either. Y'all slick. Okay.
Hey, no, Jim.
Have y'all ever thought
head
about
coaching job, Zell?
I'm not trying to hear that. Go ahead, D. We're gonna get back to that.
Have y'all ever thought about how Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time? LeBron, whatever you want to say, he up there, right? But he's one of the only black owners in the league for the NBA, for the team. So I say that to say, like, leadership trickles down. So the Rooney Rule is in place because they don't view black people in the sense of leadership, right? So if, let's say, the quarterback position, the reason why they tried to move Lamar Jackson, who's a great quarterback, to receiver, because his body is not viewed as somebody that can necessarily be a leader. So that trickles up to the head coach. Jim Caldwell got fired. Best Lions coach, record-wise.
With a winning record.
Yeah.
With a winning record.
Oh, y'all want to hear it? 11-5, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7. Just in 2 times made the playoffs. Matt Patricia is 9-19.
That was like the most blatant thing right there, bro. Like, it just didn't make no sense.
So the leadership, the black leadership kind of trickled down, bro.
He been almost lasting.
And I'll even take it a step further and say, so we know the numbers for black NFL coaches. So it's what I think we have is 3 black NFL coaches right now currently. 4 is it?
Oh, it's 3, but if Ron Rivera counts as the other minority, so it'd be 4.
Okay, but obviously that's like 10% of the entire league.
Right.
That number shoots up like astronomically when you talk about assistant coaches in the league that are black, because they feel like, as a black person, you can do so much for our team as long as you're not the face of it, long as you're not the one that's leading it, long as you're not the one that has your name on it. So when you look at coordinators, like position coaches and stuff like that, those opportunities are available, because when you start looking at skill work and stuff like that, it's no surprise that people who are teaching these players the skills are the ones that have done it, and most likely they played before. But like that, they cap out pretty much at that position because they don't feel like they're able to lead an entire unit. So,
which is crazy, and we had more than enough black quarterbacks to prove that. And like now, I think it's kind of like merged into like, okay, it used to be pocket passers back in the day, like a Brett Favre, Joe Montana type deal. Now it's kind of like merged into you getting a Lamar Jackson, or you getting a Pat Mahomes.
Bro, when you think about it, bro, the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now are black.
Black. Hands down.
Russell Wilson. And that ain't like that, but he's top 5.
I don't like that either.
You got Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes.
It's somebody else.
Dude from the what's his name?
Deshaun Watson.
I can't remember.
Yes, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, him.
Exactly. So, like, come on now. The best quarterbacks in the league are black.
And look, all of those
That's not by coincidence.
made the playoffs. Yep, I think they all made the playoffs.
Except the Cowboys here. Cowboys.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I get that.
Well, nobody likes Cowboys anyway. So.
Right. We don't like the Cowboys though. But yeah, but they still like they showing people that black people are more than just someone out there that can just run for 1,500 yards or catch for 154 passes like Michael Thomas. We can actually lead a team to victory. Pat Mahomes is a great for that.
I got a question for y'all though.
All right, shoot.
So, do y'all think that it's blatantly racist, or do y'all think the NFL is thinking of it from a dollars and cents perspective? Because the NFL is a white, it's black players play, like a lot of white fans watch, and it's owned by old white men.
Right.
So, what's y'all perspective on the reasoning behind there being no black leadership?
The NFL.
Can I go first?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rich.
To answer your question, D, all of it ties in together. You asked, is it racist? Was it racism? When the positions of power are the good old boys club that come from long money, that has a history of hating minorities. Remember, for a black quarterback to even get a chance, it took somebody to take a risk, because you had commentators saying like that we just weren't intelligent enough to be quarterbacks.
Right.
So when your money comes from racism or that good old boys club,
right,
your sponsorship dollars come from that good old boys club. It's either blatant or even behind the scenes racism. The only reason you're seeing the black faces as quarterbacks now, one, they've proven themselves, but two, hip hop is the biggest money maker on the planet right now. The genre of hip hop. When you have black quarterbacks, you can tap into black money. Lamar Jackson, a fan favorite in Baltimore. They losing their mind. Patrick Mahomes, a fan favorite. Like, you have some amazing black quarterbacks that we relate to, so we get behind. So guess what? That sponsorship money is gonna take all them black dollars they can now.
Right.
I still can be racist behind closed doors. I still can say what I want to say, but in public, I love my little workhorse. That's like Cam. When Cam interviewed to be the quarterback in Carolina, they told him he couldn't get tattoos.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, they asked him, like, no, we're not doing no tattoos, no jewelry. We're not doing none of that hip hop stuff you see all these other cats doing. If that's the case, you won't be here.
Well, that's because back then the Carolina owner was full-blown racist. They still, that's why they
it still is though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Texas owner has said some
Robert Kraft is dancing with Cardi B and Meek Mill. He having a good old time, but I guarantee, let a black man cut him off in traffic. It's just another nigga. Yeah. He come from old money.
Right.
I can feel that. I wanna add to that and go back to the question he asked about, is it racist? So I think there are multiple types of racism, but like two types, like overt and covert racism. So like in the NFL is very much covert. So it's not as explicit as you would say. They're not coming out and like, oh, let's keep the blacks out. They're not doing that. It's more internalized. It's institutional racism. Yeah. And like, that's basically just saying all of the resources, power, and opportunities are in society in general, like are to the benefit of white people and to the exclusion of people of color. And when you think about it in that light, you see how like the numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. So you see that play out in different leagues. So it's not just the NFL. It's not even just NBA. It's the NCAA too. Like, it's across the board. You see
pretty much all
the racism is played out. And honestly, like that is, and a lot of people think like, oh well, I'm not explicitly being racist, but like that is learned behavior. That's like you're conditioned to think that way. You don't come out saying like, oh, we're gonna keep the black people out, but like you are a product of your environment. So when you are in power, speaking from like an owner standpoint, like most likely like that power came from other white people. So you are passing that power down to more white people because that's learned behavior. That's something your brain is conditioned to do. And like as a league, as a whole, that's something that's been happening.
Right.
A prime example is go to a playground with little kids of different races, 5 and under.
They innocent.
They gonna play, they gonna hug, they gonna have a fit. You take that same group of kids back to the playground at 10, and it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
because now racism and classism is being taught at home.
Hey, you know what a good example of that is? I had to watch my culture class. We had to watch 42 with Jackie Robinson, and I think it was Jackie Robinson's first like major league game or whatnot. And there was a little Caucasian kid sitting around, and I guess in the inside he really wanted to cheer for him, but he was looking at his environment and people calling him the N-word and saying all this other stuff like you suck or whatever, and he's looking around like, okay, Juwan said like you taught this. So after like a couple of seconds, he started yelling at him just off of what his peers was doing from around him. So I actually agree, because like you're not born hating another race that you ain't know nothing about. You're 5 years old. How do you know about hate?
You're not born hating people, period.
You're not born hating, like you're born innocent. Everybody's equal in your eyes until you're taught, okay, they're inferior to us or whatever that may be. So I agree technically with both of y'all.
To go even further, I'd say like implicit bias. Like sometimes people not overtly racist, and that's a thing. But like there's other times when you learn something about a certain group of people that make you treat them slightly in a different way. And I think that's the point where people have to address that situation. So you might have a white person who didn't grow up in a racist home, but they think about, they were taught something in passing from their parents that discriminates against black people, discriminates against people of color. And a lot of people have to deal with those byproducts. And then it's a good old boys club because your grandfather said a slightly racist comment when you were 3 and you internalized that and you remember that as you go through your life forever. So I definitely agree with all y'all said. I just like to ask questions. I like to hear how smart y'all are.
I got a concern. And my thing is, how can you limit somebody and you don't know how far they can go? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you say that a black person can't do the football team as a coach
out of fear?
Never giving somebody the opportunity to.
Out of fear, because if they succeed, then in your mind that makes you inferior to them.
I mean, I get it, but it's just like
as long as you don't give them a chance, you can always say you're better than them. Yeah,
that's just like you saying you winning. If we run a race in 100 yards, a 100-yard race, and you getting a 60-yard head start, you're gonna look stupid, because that's basically what it is.
Y'all just not gonna look stupid. You're gonna look like a winner to you your whole life.
Ooh, that made me think about the Cam Newton playing behind Tim Tebow. Like, I wonder what was going behind in college. I wonder what was going through. Like, Tim was cold in college, but like, what was going through Cam mind? He probably like, man, I know I'm better than Tim Tebow.
All right. I mean, both of them are Heisman winners, so you can't really.
They both was like,
you can't really say that about that. Tebow wasn't really doing this thing. He was. That boy,
Tebow. He was cold.
Tebow was that guy, bro. I can't even like.
I'm not even a Tebow fan, but in college, that man was.
He was cold, man. But it's a different level once you take it to the NFL. One of them was successful.
He still made some great plays in the league, though.
Not to the level of Cam. That's all I'm saying.
No, not once they got to the NFL. But Tim Tebow wasn't a bum. You had Heisman Trophy winners who were trash.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. They just start clowning Tebow because of that whole religious thing, because he believed in God. And since he was a virgin at 20-something years old and he was saving himself, living by the Bible, you gonna criticize him. Like, that has nothing to do with his gameplay. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
No,
I think low key it is boiled down to they've been. I feel like nobody wanted to give us a real chance, and now that we getting a real chance, like how you said, majority of the majority of the coldest quarterbacks in the league are black. You see that, you know what I'm saying? Once we got that opportunity, well, of course we was gonna take it, you know what I'm saying, by the horns, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that, man, they was just reluctant to give us a chance. It still are. Like, it's not that we inferior, it's just they just reluctant to give us a chance because they don't want us to take over, I feel like. And I'm just gonna say that.
Because I think once we get it, we're gonna run with it. And they ain't gonna be able to catch up to it. Because if we get some more coaches like Mike Tomlin, or like Ron Rivera, I think they're dope coaches. It just they ran up against the Patriots, you know, however that go. But you know, they still good. Like Mike Tomlin, he had literally probably one of his, I ain't gonna say his worst seasons, but like player wise, he really didn't have nobody, and he still had a winning record.
Yeah,
still, I mean, they came second in, I think they came second in their conference, maybe because Cleveland was trash, and then Cincinnati was trash too. Yeah, so they came second, and he was balling with nobody. Like, didn't need coaches like that. That's how you know you're a real coach to me. You could take anybody and make him into somebody.
And then they still have. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they still had criticism for Mike Tomlin. The fact that they like, oh, he a player's coach. He the reason why AB went off the was start wilding and the locker room started tripping. I'm like, bro, like it's not just him. Like these people' behavior is what is causing them. This their own actions. Like it's always something, bro. It's always something. So
AB suffers from CTE or CTS. What is it called?
CTE.
CTE. Bro, it's clear, bro. It's clear.
Yeah,
for sure. But enough about the Rooney Rule. And I love y'all opinions though. I think that was dope, a good topic. Now we're gonna switch gears and talk about the Jordan doc. And I know half of y'all sad because I'm sad.
Money Mike.
That is over now. I'm sad because I want to look. So I'm sad. But how did y'all feel about it? Like
I watched it on the Fire Stick. I watched all 10 episodes. It's been over for me.
Man, when that junk come out on Netflix, boy, I'm going hard once again.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it again on Netflix.
All the way through. Just take a whole day out.
My opinion on the document is different. I lived through the actual games. Like I remember the Bad Boys Bulls battles. I remember Isaiah and them walking off, not shaking their hand. Like that was a really big deal, bro. That was a really big deal.
Yo, they still got beef to this day, bro. Jordan hate Isaiah, bro.
Isaiah hate Pippen. Anytime Scotty name come up, bro, Isaiah is on his head.
Man,
so I'll kind of run through some of my takeaways, as one will say, from it. So first off, everybody know Mike was a psychopath, all right, and
agreed.
Like I knew a lot about what happened back then, but obviously since I didn't grow up like in the midst of, like I was born in '93, so like I wasn't like in the midst of like that era, but there was a lot that I knew was going on. But the stuff that I didn't know was like how he literally made stuff up to like motivate himself. Like that to me was crazy.
That's dope to me.
That is crazy. And that's why it's hard for me, not to say that I don't believe anything he says, like it's hard for me to take everything that he says like as law, because he made so much stuff up to make him a better player. And I compared winning at all costs versus like nothing matters more than winning. And I think he was more so on like nothing matters more than winning. Because winning at all costs, I feel like you willing to cheat, do all that stuff. And I don't think he was doing that. But
I see.
I feel like he was willing to be a bad teammate, to push people outside of their comfort zones, whether they wanted to be or not, piss people off, pick on people that he knew he could pick on. Certain stuff with. But I feel like during that time in his prime, I will say this, like that man, he took championships away from a lot of greats. A lot of greats. And I will say no other superstar has ever done that. ever done that. And obviously, we all know about the shoes. That man changed the shoe game forever. Like his net worth is $2.1 billion. Like that man, legendary.
It was funny watching it and seeing the clips, but then like watching the clips took me back to actually watching the real games or like watching the events. What blew my mind was when he said Horace Grant had a bad game and couldn't eat. That was hilarious. I said, that's a grown man.
Yeah. Hey, and Horace Grant already said, like, yeah, he said that, but he's like, that didn't happen like that. He's like, I got up, walked over to Mike, and stood up to him, and Mike didn't do nothing. He was just like, no.
The story was they stepped in between them. He never got to Mike for him to actually be close enough to touch him.
Well, no,
he did say he stood up for himself and got up.
Right.
But it wasn't like he was in Mike's face and Mike didn't defend himself.
See, that's what makes it hard for me to believe everything that Mike says, because Mike, he ain't say that part. He's basically told us, oh, you know, I told the flight attendant that, you know, not to feed him, and that was that.
Like, I mean, but that wasn't a lie though. He did.
I know, but he didn't tell what happened after that. He made it seem like Horace was like, oh man, like I gotta sit here with no food. That's what I mean. He like omitting the truth is still lying.
So, what episode was that? I think I missed that.
It was from his perspective. He had a bad game. I told him don't feed him. I don't care what Horace said after that.
If I say, man, I walked up to Zell and I called him a B blah blah blah, and then I left. Like, yeah, I could have did that, but like that don't tell what Zell said. That don't tell what Zell did. Like,
it ain't the Horace Grant documentary. Nobody care what Horace said.
That's true. Like, you take bits and pieces that fit your narrative that works for you. Like,
we all do that.
Oh, we all don't.
Yes, we do. When you telling the story of something you did, it's from your perspective.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You don't necessarily tell the reaction that
I'm not gonna make myself
came with it.
Wait, y'all talking at the same time?
I'm big bad guy. Like, tell everything that happened. It's still your perspective. Just tell everything that happened.
But you know, people saw stuff.
Horace Grant getting up or not getting up still don't change the fact that he told another grown man you couldn't eat because you had a bad game.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Like, bro, you can tell anybody anything, but if you add in what that person did, like, it just makes you look good, and it's leading a false story.
I will say,
watching
the documentary made me. So take this with a grain of salt. I think Isaiah Thomas probably should have shook their hands, but it made me respect the Bad Boys a lot more because from the perspective of the documentary, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer, they was the only team that didn't back down from the Bulls.
Yeah.
They're the only team that didn't cower down and say, these the Bulls. They like, no, we gonna beat y'all.
They made him who he was.
Right, and they don't get enough credit for that. And Mike won't give him credit for that.
No, he said it in 10. He said,
I think he said it. He said it.
He did.
He said it in 10.
Yeah, he said it.
He did. He did say that.
Better than winning the championship.
What'd you say?
No, he said beating the Pistons for the first time was better than winning the championship that year.
That's fair. But yeah, the documentary for sure made me respect the Detroit Pistons, and from a competitive standpoint, I get why they didn't shake their hands, but they should have shook their hands for the long-standing impact.
Yeah.
Man, whatever.
Hey, that's how I feel. I'm like,
You don't think so?
I don't have a problem.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Isaiah made a great point. If you go to the year before when they beat Boston,
Exactly.
I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about what somebody else did.
He had to go grab Kevin McHale's hand to make him shake his hand. So in Isaiah's mind,
that's weak.
To
me, that's weak.
What happened.
You don't. To me, that's kind of weak because why are you doing what somebody else did to you? You should be able to do what you want to do based off of your perspective. If you that's the only reason why you doing that don't really make sense to me. If you want to shake their hand, go shake their hand. Like John Sally said, no, I'm gonna go shake their hand because I'm gonna do differently than what my team did. John Sally said he went and he shook the Bulls' hand. Right. You feel me? So like I don't really mess with that part of what Isaiah did, not because it's wrong and it's not sportsmanship, but like don't come up with an answer like we did it because that's what was did to us. What? That don't make sense.
It makes a lot more sense than you giving it credit for. Because think about this: in the world of professional sports, you do what the champions before you did, right?
Passing the torch.
You passing the torch. So when they dethroned Boston, you dethroned the reigning Eastern Conference champions, Boston Celtics. You excited. Larry Bird then walked off, whatever, and do what y'all do. Isaiah had to run McHale down to get him to shake his hand. So the next year when they lost to Chicago, they was like, well, when we beat Boston, and Boston is the face of, you know what I'm saying? Like them the good old boys, and they did it well. I guess this is what happens when you lose. You let them have a celebration. I don't agree with it. I don't think it was right. But I want to hear Bill Laimbeer's take on that because Isaiah threw him under the bus.
What did he say?
He said Bill Laimbeer walked up to the bench and was like, "We not shaking their hand."
That's not the first time he said that. I think Bill's okay with that. That's not the first time Isaiah said that. Like, that's not the first time he told the story. Like, I knew that it was Bill Laimbeer's idea before the documentary started because Isaiah said that before.
But see, that's why I had a problem because as great as Bill Laimbeer was, Isaiah, you're the captain and face of the Pistons.
That's what I'm saying. He knew better. You didn't have to do that because that was did to you.
The difference is in what you're saying is that when Boston did it, like they were okay with it. So like by the time when the Pistons did it, like they weren't doing it out of spite. This is what they thought was like.
What I thought you did.
How it was supposed to be done. So that's why I think they did it because he said it like Isaiah said himself. We didn't have a problem when Boston did it. We thought that was okay. That's literally what he said. So when he did it, he thought that was okay. Now, whether that's the truth,
I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. That's what I'm saying. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying you did it
2020 because not shaking their hands cost him the Olympic gold medal.
Derek, like, I don't care, bro. He's not giving it to his side. He's not giving it to his side, dude.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that's Isaiah's perspective. Like Mike said, like he had 20, 30 years to think about it now. Like, okay, but like in that moment, no, I think he knew better. Personally, he just wanted to be like that, which is cool. Like, I get it from a competitive standpoint. You mad you lost. Say that. Yeah. Don't be like we did that because that's what was did to us. You was mad. It's okay.
Let's also not forget though, like the Pistons, even though they lost that year to them, they beat them 3 years in a row. So people act like the Bulls, once they beat them, they just started beating the mess out of us. Like they actually only beat them in one playoff series. One playoff series out of 4. So Isaiah
after that, the bad boys was disbanded after that.
No.
What you mean?
Like once you beat them, like we almost into a rebuild mode.
Yeah. After that year, it was ball game.
Yeah.
I think lost to them. It was curtains for them.
Oh yeah, because Isaiah started getting hurt and all that.
Yeah, he got hurt, and well, I think Laimbeer he was getting older, or he got traded.
Then Dennis Rodman left, so
Dennis, he ended up taking his talents to the Spurs, right?
Dennis was wild.
Yeah. That's what I learned from the documentary. I learned 2 things. Jordan,
he was wow, bro.
Jordan mentally, bro. It just taught me, like, bro. Like, if you want to succeed at something, bro, just give it all you got, bro.
All right, wait. I got a question. Who in the NBA today would have the balls enough to do what Dennis Rodman did? Who would be that player in today's NBA?
Nobody.
As far as what, that vacation, 48-hour vacation,
like just like the
and not getting
irrational behavior that Dennis Rodman
and not in trouble.
J.R. Smith. No, I was playing.
But he ain't important though.
I would say I don't know.
J.R. Smith ain't that important. You got to get somebody that's important to the team that'll do something like that.
Meta World Peace is the closest thing we've had to a basket case like Dennis Rodman.
I can see.
I can see him doing that.
But somebody current though.
But he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't no partier though. Not like that.
But he can do stuff like that and get away with. He didn't have some incidents on the court, bro, when he hit people intentionally and got away with it.
Yeah. But he got on the court though. Off the court, this boy Dennis Rodman was doing some wild jump though. Bro.
This man left.
They had to get that man out the bed with Carmen Electra, bro.
That man was having fun.
What?
Bro,
he played a finals game. He left to go on WWE. Like what? Bro, what?
That was in the championship game, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, the finals, bro.
Yeah.
That is crazy, bro.
Wow.
Why do you do that?
Either he was just that confident.
He had 14 rebounds next game.
Hey, no, here's an example of like I'm clocking in and I'm clocking out. Like that is it. Don't worry about my personal time.
Hey, but the thing is, you can't get mad at him because he showed up the next day and did work.
Yeah, that's why I think I really got a bad rep.
So that's kind of hard to say. Like
he produced every game.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to say like who would be that today's Dennis Rodman because the closest
person is just so different. I didn't expect an answer. I was just curious if anybody had an idea. I didn't expect an answer because none of that is gonna fly. Nobody built like that.
In the social media era that we're in, nobody would sacrifice their career like that. That is career suicide. I don't care how good you are. That's career suicide in today's NBA.
Hey, I got a question. So, how would y'all think Jordan would have dealt? How would y'all think Jordan would have dealt with the social media era if he's playing in this era versus how he had to deal with the public and the social media in his era? Because he was already
would have been on social media.
Oh, Jordan would have got ate alive. That political stunt that he pulled, that Republicans buy shoes to, he would have been ate alive, bro. He wouldn't have lived that down in the social media Twitter world today. Like,
I was thinking,
man,
I was thinking that when I saw it.
Yeah, they talked about this too, but like, obviously back then it wasn't as many daily sports shows that dissected every little piece of an athlete's life as they do today. Like, you turn on any show right now, they're talking about LeBron James and what he ate for breakfast. Like, you go back to the 90s. You go back to the 90s, bro. Like, what you saw on the court was everything that you had, bro. Like, you didn't really get anything else. So Jordan was a very private person, but I guarantee you, if he was living in the social media era,
he got ate up.
It would have been a lot of like his gambling stuff. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, that stuff would have blew up, dog. So
what you got to say?
Huh?
What you got to say?
I said he wouldn't even have been a part of social media, to be honest. I don't think so.
He ain't got to be a part to get exposed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I know what y'all mean, but I said he wouldn't have never joined. I don't think so, because
I don't know that guy he did. Go ahead, D.
I don't think that would have phased Mike personally, like the gambling thing, even if that was on social media. Honestly, bro, like me think about Kobe and how he handled his social media, but then thinking about how Kobe did everything he did based off of Mike. I don't think that would have phased Mike, to be honest with you. He would have still been producing, still been the top selling jersey, still been the best player in the league.
If anything,
honestly,
him off more.
But real quick though. Hold on.
Carter saying something.
Hey, look, real quick. Based on that, I feel like Kobe had the one situation.
Right. Yeah. Right.
In Colorado. That's one situation. I feel like Kobe's career was just cleaner. Like, that was in the very beginning. That was in the beginning of his career. His career was cleaner than Mike's. I feel like Mike had a lot more controversy going on and like stuff around his name. So like what you saying that, Darren, I feel like it still would have been different. Like how Juan said, like it would have been a little bit. He would have been trending a lot more for negative things. I feel like.
Do you think that negative thing would have changed his perception?
Mike wouldn't have cared what y'all said on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. As long as I'm getting these rings, I don't care what y'all say.
No, that's the thing. I don't think it would have changed anything about Mike. I just think it would have been how he was perceived.
Hey, anybody who makes up in his mind that a guy said good game and I'm going to give him 36 in the first half of the next game, I don't care what y'all say. I got enough going on inside my own head to keep me motivated anyway.
What'd you say, Lo?
So Kari saying like he had more controversy, but at the same time, he really didn't do nothing. That was the media gas and everything. Like first he had gamble. I don't even know if he had a gambling problem. The man just gambled. He never no problem. But all the stuff that happened around that, they put the gambling. Oh, that's why that happened, because he probably in debt, or people were just creating a narrative. So yeah, I don't think social media would have phased him, because one, you didn't even know what was true, because that was just stuff media was putting out just to get a story, like how they put how they was talking about his pops, like that.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, bro. That was
real messed up.
But at the same time, but look at what all that stuff drove him. Like none of it phased him. All of it drove him to just hoop. Like forget what
I ain't saying that it would have phased him. I'm saying that he would have been trending. He would have been trending a lot more, especially like how they do Brian. And Brian is a clean athlete, bro. He's on every network every morning, bro, for anything, bro. Like anything. And it's mainly always basketball related stuff, but they still people try to hate on Brian or whatever. Like, so just imagine what it would have been like. It would have been a lot worse. I'm not saying it would have phased him. It definitely would probably made him a better player, because he already used fuel for his fire. You feel like to play better. Like Kevin Durant, I say Kevin Durant like that. Like today, like people talk crap about Kevin Durant with the fake accounts and all that. And bro, he go out and perform every night, bro, at a high level, every night. So I feel like it would have made him. I still feel like it would have made him better.
The only difference is that like it wouldn't change anything with Mike himself, but like I think a lot of people now view Mike as like the perfect athlete, the perfect like person.
Right.
Like, they view him as a god, and I think that's the only thing it would have changed. Like a lot of people would have just like had a different perception of him. Not that it would change anything he would have did. He still would have been great. He still would have been dominant. Like I agree with Rich said. Like he still would have like he would have ignored it. He would have phased all that out. Like nothing would have bothered him about it at all. But it just would have changed how other people thought about him. Like that's really the only difference, honestly.
Yeah.
I get what y'all saying, but I'm not seeing any like substantial thing that he did that would change that perception.
Because none of it was proven. It was all
speculations. Yeah. I only ask because they'll take something so small in today's time and run it up so much, and they'll prolong the situation on somebody doing something so small. That's why I asked that, because they made a big deal about his gambling situation, then the speculations of his dad dying, and then the whole retirement thing. Like that can get annoying too. It's just like KD got annoyed with the whole.
My thing with his gambling was this: he paid his debts.
I would say his money.
He had money to gamble with like that. Like the one guy was like, he won $100,000 golfing from golf with him. But he was like, Mike never bet on like basketball or nothing like that. He had the money to lose. Mike loved to gamble, he was competitive, and he loved golf. So he's gonna bet on golf. He's gonna bet on himself all the time.
I don't know if Mike ain't never bet on no basketball game. I love Mike, but I don't know. I don't know, bro. Come on, bro.
Bet on himself. Floyd,
come on now.
I mean, they different people, but
nobody has ever said he bet on basketball. All his gambling.
I agree with you. I agree with
you.
I agree with you, but I'm thinking, I'm watching the movie, bro, and I'm listening to Mike talk about how competitive he is and how he likes to gamble, and I'm just putting pieces together. It may not even be there, but that's just me watching. Like, can I really believe that he ain't ever bet on himself?
I feel you.
So that conversation, y'all think that conversation ain't never came up? Like somebody like, all right, put your cheese up then, like that, like bet on yourself, like come on, bro.
Hey, but low key, they knew better. If you piss Mike off, I mean, I don't understand why you would bet him. If y'all say if he created stuff that didn't even happen, why would he bet? Why would somebody take a bet with him on a game?
Right.
I mean, it's just how I would think. If he making that stuff about he gonna drop 37 in the first half on the same dude who dropped 37 on him,
in the game.
In the game. Then my man was like, he was like, oh, that new 45 ain't the old 23. Piss Mike off.
Okay.
Like, that was stupid. And then Horace Grant said it too. Like, y'all don't say nothing to Mike. Let him do what he do. Somebody said something to Mike. I think it was a guard. I forgot his name.
No,
talking about BJ Armstrong?
Yeah, BJ Armstrong.
No, it was Orlando.
Nick Anderson.
The nigga answered like the 45 ain't the old 23. The next game he came out in 23.
Hey, no, what was funny was
BJ.
Was Clyde Drexler was catching strays, bro. Like he didn't even do nothing. People just compared him to Mike, bro. Clyde didn't even say nothing, bro. He just caught a stray for no reason, bro. Mike went at this man like he owed him money, bro. Like he was not playing, bro. Just because somebody said, "Oh, this might be a good matchup." What?
Okay, I got you.
What?
Hey, Clyde still put up numbers though. I checked the stats out. He still put up numbers. It
don't matter, bro.
Man, like
Clyde was a certified all-star, bro.
Yeah,
like certified.
But to be mentioned in the same breath as Mike, not
even. Hall of Famer.
Yeah, like that's
easily.
And then who's my man that Tony Kukoc? They destroyed him in the Olympics. I'm like, good God, he ain't even do nothing. He just got drafted.
They didn't like Krause.
Hey, that wasn't even related to Mike. That was Pippen's situation.
Hey, that's his boy though. You know how that
goes. I got a question though, bro. Who do y'all blame? Krause or Reinsdorf?
Reinsdorf, easy.
Reinsdorf.
Yeah.
He had all the power.
They made Krause look bad, bro. He wasn't even the problem for real.
Yeah. Big facts.
Krause was a genius when you think about it, bro. That man was a genius.
Tony Kukoc,
bro.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy. Two separate three-peats. Those are two separate teams, bro. Except Pippen and Jordan. Yeah. Two separate teams. That man was a genius. Bro. Like Reinsdorf was the one behind. I'm telling you.
Hey, I got a question real quick.
What's up?
Do y'all think would Mike be considered a good teammate in your opinion?
It depends on who you asking, because I mean, somebody, because you got to think about it.
Right.
If you hooping and I'm on your head every day because I know your potential, if you're not used to somebody, that's like when LeBron and Wade first got together. LeBron never got yelled at by nobody when he went to Miami, but Wade kind of like pushed him to be that leader or whatnot. And they're actually like in the finals when they lost, I think that was. So I'm like, basically what I'm saying is, if you're not the type of person that got tough skin, then you probably gonna hate Mike. But if you're somebody that can like take it and you can see the bigger picture, because Mike even said it, he said, I want it for myself and for them. This is better than I want it for myself. So I'm like,
right.
I mean, in the end all, he's a good teammate, but in the current situation, you probably hate the dude.
Yeah,
I mean, who's my man who kept picking on every day? And he said, I can't put
Scott Burrell.
We have to fight, bro. You ain't about to keep calling me out my name.
Like he was disrespecting him. It's a difference between being a good leader and then you calling me out my name, bro. Like that's too far. Like, like first off, it depends because everybody wants to be led a certain way. So like,
right.
If you a person who is okay with that, like that's fine. Like I'm a person, like you don't need to cuss at me to get the full potential out of me. Like you don't need to cuss at me, spit at me, do all this extra. So like, yeah, like
you don't need to be in Chicago, bro, because that's how I lead, and that's I'm building this by fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. That's why it depends.
Six championships later, his way of leadership worked.
That's what I said.
Not for everybody.
I mean, it's more than one way to lead, though. Y'all know that.
More than one way.
It's
not a bad way.
Of course, however, in Chicago, this is
not a more
when you're the best player in the league, you got a lot of pool, so you can do whatever you want, basically. Right. But
at the same time, you're not about to keep consistently doing that to me. Like all you gotta do to me in real life, honestly,
as a man, bro,
you ain't gotta yell at me, bro. Just tell me, like, Zell, you just be real with me. Zell, you talk to me.
Do you know if Scott Burrell would have stood up to Mike, bro, he'd have left him alone? Everybody who stood up, Mike left alone because that means you showing me you are a man. Him and Steve Kerr. Bro, he got Steve Kerr by what? 6-7 inches? 50.
You got to produce too, though.
Yeah, you got to produce.
You got to be able to produce. Yeah. You got to be able to produce on the court. And it's like a double double edged sword.
They said Scott had a couple big games in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, he did. But it's
I ain't never seen one Scott Burrell highlight ever.
I ain't never heard of it until the doc. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, when he asked for Jordan to give him a hug, bro, for one of his first ring in the Olympics, bro, and he said no, I screamed, dog. Like this don't count. This don't count. I screamed,
bro.
Scream.
Who do y'all think style of leadership is better? The Kobe Mike side or the LeBron style of leadership?
That's hard to. That's
well, if you look at the,
what'd you say, Lo?
Which one would y'all prefer? Person, like which would y'all prefer?
I think Lo about to talk.
plan or just like who would I pick if I had to play?
Yeah,
Probably Brian, because I don't take too well to niggas yelling at me. So I probably have to roll with Brian.
Yeah.
But the more effective was Kobe and Mike, for real.
I'm gonna go with Kobe and Mike, bro. Like that I'm a different era. That tough love, that tough, like, built by fire. It's proven time and time again. It was proven time and time again then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say Kobe and Mike, because my one thing is that I don't like people that's passive aggressive. I like you to, like, if you got a problem with me or you got I'm not playing a certain way or I'm not doing this, like, I don't know. This is how I am on the court, period. Anyways, like, it's not that I'm trying to be confrontational. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to win at the same time. Like, if Brian sitting here not gonna say, y'all know how Brian is, bro. Brian don't be saying nothing like for real. He'll like look at you or give you a look or do something. He might say something like, oh, just do this a little bit different. But I'd rather somebody just come up and tell me, like, bro, you need to step it up. You need to do this. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna say
You don't think Brian do that?
Mike. I
think Brian does that.
But he's passive aggressive. He'll go to the media.
Bad rap because he is nice, so people think that he don't say shit to nobody. Like
that's why Brian and Kobe and Mike leadership is different. Like that's why he said those two different leaderships. I still would say Kobe and Mike though. For me,
I think Brian and Kobe / Mike leadership is different. Brian leads from a brotherhood standpoint, because if you look at how Brian came up, that was his like origin story of basketball. Was okay. I got me and my 4 best friends. We on the court. I'm a lead, and we gonna build this brotherhood. So that's how he decides to lead. But as far as Kobe and Mike, they more so like isolated leadership. Like, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get us to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know which one is better, bro. I can't even pick one. But Brian does call out players when they not. Yeah, I feel like on the basketball court, he's that kind of leader, but he has a different, probably, I don't know how to say it, bro. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I like the Mike and Kobe because they not going to demand more of you than they're willing to do themselves. If I'm working that hard, you can work that hard. Like, you got to think about it. Mike and Kobe were at the gym first, at the gym last, working all summer. Like, I'm built for this. I'm trying to win at all costs, and I need you in the trenches with me. Mike said it.
Yeah.
If you're not tough enough to deal with me in practice, you definitely not tough enough to go to war with me.
I got mixed feelings about it.
I'm your teammate.
If
you're sensitive to me as your teammate, Gary Payton is gonna eat you up and spit you out, bro.
This is true.
Right.
I know for me, what me, Juwan, Lawrence had JV year, it was a brotherhood. Like, we was better than our varsity team. But at the same time, we used to get on each other's nerves and we'll mess up and do something. But it was just like, all right, I know he wants the best for me, and I know we want to win as a collective. So in that aspect, I can understand the brotherhood from LeBron's side. But my heart is telling me, if I know somebody's great and you can push more potential out of me that I probably didn't realize I had, I probably have to go with the mic. That's just me. I would have to lean toward it, because sometimes you don't realize how much you got into you until you get pushed by somebody. And once you are pushed by that person, it's just like, wow. And then you, like I said earlier, you appreciate it in the long run. Like, you know what? You know, I ain't like you nigga at first, but you know what I'm saying? You smooth now. And then you got 6 rings. It's like, I can laugh about it now. But
Horace Grant can't stand Mike, but he loved those 3 rings.
I bet he do, because I would have. I guarantee you this, I would have stepped up to Mike though, because I used to do that to varsity players. Like, you're not about to keep trying to bully me, and I'm one of the smallest dudes on the team. That's not about to fly with me. I don't care who you is. But that's just me. And
did y'all opinion of Scotty change after the doc?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, same.
No, because when he quit on them, I'm just like, for real, Scotty.
Yeah.
I just talked about that last time, like, for real. Like, you already had the little migraine situation, and now you mad because you feel like this is your team, and then Tony Kukoc, I think, got a play drawn up for him, and you got pissed because you feel like you should have had it, and he didn't had. I think that season he didn't have multiple game winning shots. So what's the difference now? Because it's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I mean, Scotty's still my guy though. I ain't gonna take it away from him. I mean, he's still cool, but he had a couple moments where it's just like, dang, Scotty, I ain't know that, buddy. But he did earn my respect. Their last championship game where he played with a bad back and he was just a decoy. He knew better. He better had.
Bro.
Yeah.
He hit a
Hey.
What did you say, like?
He hit a clutch shot too with that little bad back.
Yep.
The turnaround.
Yep.
With a bad back. It was a good game.
And he was walking like my bad, Low, but he was walking like that was hurting bad too. Go ahead, Low.
He was.
Low, he's walking like me and you yesterday, bro.
Y'all saw me now. It's a wrap.
Oh, dog, that joke was funny. Go ahead, bro.
Could y'all imagine JR doing that bull he did in the finals with Mike or Kobe on his team, bro? They would have been liable to strangle that man, like fam.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
Hey,
my God, bro.
He would have walked home for sure. He walking home.
Mike probably would have boy out on the bench, like, dog, what is you doing?
Definitely.
Hey,
that was the best game I've ever seen.
Yeah, Chris Paul and Harden.
That definitely was, yeah. And for JR to mess that up, that junk hurt.
That hurt me because I'm like, for real, bro. The whole momentum shifted that whole series after that game, bro.
Oh yeah.
They never had a chance to win the series, but it would have been nice to see.
They would have had at least.
What y'all talking about?
Win that one at home.
The 2018 finals.
The J.R. Smith when he got the ball.
That was game 1 too.
Yeah.
Didn't he think they was up 1 when he got the ball?
No, it was tied.
Tied.
Yeah. All he had to do was go up. Even if he would have got blocked, I would have took that.
He thought they was up though. He thought they was up. He just had a brain for it.
He was on that Cognac or something,
bro. For that, it's the finals.
He could have drew a foul like KD because KD was gonna jump.
Bro, I don't need no miscues in the finals against Golden State, bro. You need to.
Yeah, it was a miscue. It wasn't even like he did it on purpose. It was definitely a miscue, but that was some drunk stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I understand.
He for sure was off sudden.
You can't.
Been a couple times, Jared did some.
No.
Yeah, he's on sudden for sure.
Always on some bull.
But hey, look. So, switching gears. How do y'all feel about Mike Tyson coming back, bro?
Rich,
I don't want to see that man, bro.
Rich, he needs to stay home.
That boy is scary.
Don't let these deals do you, bro. Like, he still got it.
Relax, bro.
Like any normal, like tax-paying citizen, he will beat the crap out of. Don't get back in that ring, bro. Don't get back in that ring.
He said he's gonna
fight Holyfield,
bro. That man hasn't fought since 2005, bro. Like he will get killed in the ring.
He's fighting old people.
Yeah, he's fighting people.
He's gonna be fighting Holyfield.
Allegedly.
All it takes is one miss.
It's not even Holyfield.
Holyfield.
I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. They're certified. Like it's a wrap. They're gonna do it. But he said he want to fight Evander for charity.
Yeah, it's gonna be a charity.
Oh, okay.
I don't care what y'all say. Have y'all seen him working out?
Yes.
Hey, bro.
Serious. I'm still not fighting Mike.
Bro, I'm scared watching the video.
I'm still holding the pads.
That's what I'm saying. I'm scared for him.
When he hit that right cross and hit my man walked away, I say, "Oh, I'm
power still there." Bro.
It's so fast and powerful, bro. Like, oh, imagine taking one of those to the rib. Oh my God.
At 53, he's still that fast.
That's what I'm saying. At 53 years old, he's still moving that quick, bro.
I'm just thinking about a rib shot, bro. Like that, I couldn't take it, bro.
Think about a face shot, let alone a
rib, bro. If you break your ribs,
bro, he scares me.
Yeah, I eat the face joint. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna eat it.
You gonna eat
it? You gonna eat it when you wake up?
Hey, no, I would rather him punch me in the face.
Look
out, bro.
I'd rather you in the face than hit the ribs.
I'll go punch me in the ribs.
Yo, he's for sure cracking on your ribs.
That's a bet, though, bro. Come on, bro. You really want to have a lingering injury over? I mean, like, yeah, your face gonna be mangled.
He can break your.
My face gonna get back to what it needs to be. Don't hit me in my ribs like that.
I'm saying, bro, like your face gonna be
Do y'all remember when
he can break your jaw too while you over there playing?
Right.
Like, any contact to the body is liable to get
Bro,
broken.
we talking like 50 Cent when he got shot. Like this,
bro?
whole jaw gone.
Him and Miss Green had a fight outside a bar. He put a shot on his head, bro. I don't want to touch by Mike no way, shape, or form, bro.
Hey,
you're not hitting me. You're not punching me at all.
Yeah,
y'all know that
he want to punch me in the leg.
Bro, I don't want to be nowhere near him. I watch him from a distance, 6 feet, bro. 6 feet.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, did y'all know that he actually is 0-2 against Holyfield?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew the disqualification one, but the second fight they had, he got knocked out in the 11th round. I'm like, dang. So no wonder you want to fight him again.
He got more ears than Holyfield.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
He talking about Holyfield talking about he wanted to bite him back.
Bro, you gotta be dude.
Hey, but no, I do think that, like, especially if you fight him for charity, like that'll be good box office. Like,
I will watch.
A lot of people will watch it. Everybody's gonna watch it.
Watch all of it.
It's a money grab for sure, but like,
for sure,
I don't care who he box. I'm watching.
I'm watching it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm watching that jump too.
Hey, the fellas in my group chat was just like, "Hey, bro, if Tyson fighting Holyfield, we gotta watch this together, bro. It's gonna be epic,
bro."
Oh yeah.
If at 53 Mike knock somebody out, bro, it is over,
bro. Like,
but if Mike get his old A laid out, bro, I'm gonna be crying.
You did all that work out.
Like, you did all that, posting all the videos.
Buster Douglas, huh?
Oh
you
no!
Find out Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas situation is bad.
Boy, Buster Douglas is built like me right now. Buster Douglas is a granddad somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, he might kryptonite. He might kryptonite.
You said what?
At least 5 times a day, he telling his grandkids, "Oh, yeah, remember that time I knocked out Tyson?" Bro, I wouldn't forget it either. Same thing.
Hey, Mike,
to the Jordan dog.
That's Mike kryptonite.
I'll be telling my grandkids every day. I gave Mike 40. I'm living that down for the rest of my life. Every day. I don't care.
What'd you say, Kari?
I said, yeah, that's Mike kryptonite right there, Buster Douglas.
that knockout changed the landscape of heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And nobody saw the fight.
That's just crazy.
You said nobody saw it. What you mean? It
wasn't here.
Oh.
They fought like you heard about it. It wasn't like a big pay-per-view fight like that.
So he got knocked off a cheese fight.
No, he got knocked out.
The title defender.
Oh, dang, that's just crazy.
Did y'all see the Great White Hype?
You say what?
The Great White Hype, the boxing movie.
No.
Y'all suck.
Damian
Wayne's supposed to be like the champ, and he was fighting like a nobody. So he was out of shape, all of that. Buster Douglas was supposed to have been a cream puff.
Right.
You go in, you fight, you beat him up 1, 2, 3 rounds. You collect this check, come on back home.
Bro.
Didn't go that way.
In boxing, bro, all it takes is one punch. I don't care what ranking you is. It takes one punch. And
everybody got a punch.
Everybody, yeah. It's equal chance. You just with Mike, you better outthink him. And that's hard.
Wilder told y'all got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect for one punch.
Yeah. Kind of see what happened to him. It's like, no, that's my guy. One punch.
Hey, man, I don't get me started on him.
He to this day.
So mad, bro.
He disappointed me. Man, I was pissed about that.
He's not a boxer. He's a brawler.
Oh, we know.
He's a fighter.
Tyson Fury showed that.
Hey, but Fury, for a big fella, he kind of quick.
He got hands.
He kind of quick, bro. Like
Fury box.
He
box. Like Fury, that guy. But enough about Mike. We hope to see him. I'm gonna definitely watch it. I'm sure the fella's gonna have it.
Oh, we watch it.
Yeah, we all gonna watch it. So the great debate topic. My boy Lo came up with this one. So You want to explain it to him, though, or you want me to say it? Yo, stuff. Be the honors.
Who do you guys think had the better underdog story? And it gives 5 teams, 5 NBA champion teams. So you got the 06 Miami Heat, the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, the 95 Houston Rockets, the 19 Toronto Raptors, and the 04 Pistons.
Now, everybody go once to get your opinion off, because usually debates on this show usually go left because everybody be arguing. So, who want to go first, or we just go from there? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
I'll say 2011 Dallas Mavericks. That's the first time the Heat got to the finals. That was not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. That was that Bron coming into the Miami Heat. I will say on 2K they was cold that year, that Dallas Mavericks team. So I knew about Dallas, but ain't nobody picked Dallas to win the championship. So to me, that's the best underdog story. Now there's some conspiracy out here that say that the Miami Heat threw that series, but I ain't gonna get too much into that. But yeah, that's the best underdog story. And Dirk a Hall of Famer, man. He one of my top 10 favorite players all time. Top 10 favorite, not best, top 10 favorite. So yeah.
Juwan. So we got one Dallas. What you got, Juwan?
I would say, damn, man, it was a toss-up between the 06 Heat and the 04 Pistons, but I think I got to go with the 06 Heat, just because, like, that year, I think, like, man, like, Wade was having a great year, but nobody expected them to win because the Pistons, this is when the Pistons were still great. Like, they coming off 2 finals appearances, so, like, nobody's expecting the Heat. It's like, what, Wade's 3rd year in the league, something like that. So, Shaq is kind of almost washed up, still kind of producing, but, like, I know that would hurt me the most as a Pistons fan, but I think getting there, Wade just, like, had a crazy finals after being down 0-2, like, one of, like, the best finals performances I've ever seen in my life. So I just feel like the 06 Heat was probably the best underdog story.
So we got,
like, in the regular season, I think the Pistons had won like 12 or 13 more games in them or something like that. So it was crazy. Like, the Pistons were the overwhelming favorite, and then they got past them.
Wade went off, and that's the reason why I don't like that nigga, because he cooked the Pistons, bro, in the Eastern Conference Finals.
He came into the Mavericks.
So, Golly.
Oh God.
So what you got, Lo? So we got Dallas, then we got 06 Heat, right?
Yep.
I'm stuck with them two because it's like, fam, you got one of the biggest big 3 teams anybody has ever seen, obviously. And then at the same time, you got Dirk, Jason Terry, JJ Perez, Stevenson, like, dudes, you know what I'm saying? Dirk is obviously a big head name, but the rest of them was like, okay, whatever. And it's like you didn't expect the Heat to go out like that. But I'll probably have to go with the 06 Heat just because they came back from being down 0-2. Like, and of course, like Juan already said, Wade started balling. Like, he started going off. And they ended up winning, no thanks to Shaq. And then Shaq didn't even help, for real. That's what made it even worse. Shaq didn't help.
He was out there like a decoy.
He was a straight decoy.
He didn't play well.
That already don't help you if one of your most dominant players not really doing much in the finals. So yeah, I had to go with the 06 Heat.
Right.
Oh, I got one more point to say about the Dallas Mavericks. So my fault.
Which
one? So
JJ Barea is an anomaly. That, if y'all go back and watch that series, bro, he was hoping. Like,
oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say about mine.
He was cooking.
He was hoping. That's it.
He got paid after that series.
Yeah, he did. He still
I was about to tell you.
Imagine
still getting paid for that.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Rich.
Pistons. Tell you why. The way they were built, it was a team without a superstar. You hadn't had a non-superstar team win a championship in a long time. But when you get to the finals, you're going against Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, Karl Malone.
I was hurt though.
4 Hall of Famers. They weren't in their prime, but you
gotta respect
or of who they were. You gotta respect who they are. And for the Pistons to win the way they did, like that was like they ran the Lakers out the gym, bro.
4-1.
As a team.
0-1.
4-1.
Yeah.
And going into that, they weren't expected to win that series at all, if 2 games.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you were for real in Shaq and Kobe territory.
Laker.
And they had help.
Yeah.
That's why I picked the Pistons. Like, if it's not the Pistons, it probably would have been Houston, because 95 wasn't that when they were like the 7th or 8th seed and when they won their second ring?
Yeah.
Like
they was low.
Yeah, it was low.
Yeah, nobody expected them.
They beat the Spurs, and the Spurs was like 62-20.
Yeah. Hey, but the funny thing is, to go back like to the Mike Doc, I've always said you're the champion until somebody beats you.
Right.
So like even on the back-to-back end for Houston, they still were the champs. So you couldn't cut them out until you beat them. So that's why I say the Pistons are my pick, like for the underdog, because nobody expected them to beat the Lakers. Like if you go back to that, bro, they were talking bad. Like, okay, the Pistons good, they got good players, but it's Shaq and Kobe. And they got Gary Payton and Karl Malone.
Go ahead, Carr.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would have been between the Pistons and the Mavericks, but I'm gonna probably say I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards the Mavericks, man, based on the fact that, like I D said, like, bro, the Heat came in here and was talking real choppy, bro. Everybody, like, they had a slow start that season, and they got it rolling and got it clicking. Then everybody was on the Heat bandwagon, and Dirk, JJ Barea, Jason Terry, and them boys shut that down real quick, bro. That's John Steve. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then that's just based on the fact that I can remember that a little bit more better than I could with the Pistons and the Lakers situation. Mm-hmm. So that might be a little biased.
Young Buck.
So you got Dallas?
Yeah, I got Dallas.
Dang. Well, I guess it's 2-2-2 because I'm going with the Pistons. Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, if you know me, you should have known who I was gonna pick. You know what I'm saying? And I always
wait, you picked the Pistons?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say one.
Can I even explain why I picked the Pistons?
Hey, he mad as hell you picked the Pistons.
Bro, I didn't even get it out yet. The show. All I wanted to say was, you know what I'm saying? Just like Rich said, they was one of the few teams that didn't have a superstar, and they beat a high-ranked team that had one of them, probably two of the top 5 best players in the league. Of course, we had Karl Malone and Gary Payton that was a little bit older, but still, they had the number 1 defense throughout the whole playoffs. And then I think LA won in 2000, 2001, and 2002. So that was kind of like the Lakers era, where Kobe and Shaq, you was going to get cooked. And then I think the odds negative 55 as far as like them beating the Lakers. So the fact that nobody gave them an ounce of a chance, and for them to run the Lakers 4-1 with that,
I think you could say
and they had nobody besides what I think the biggest name you could possibly
bro.
Rasheed or Chauncey.
Listen, bro. Hold on, bro.
Chauncey is better than
y'all. Can say the same thing about the Mavericks, bro.
No, Chauncey's my guy. Chauncey's my guy.
They better than y'all giving them credit for as a team, though. Like, yeah, they playing Kobe and Shaq, but like they got guys that the Lakers couldn't guard.
That's not my problem. You shouldn't.
I think you can say the same thing, bro. Don't forget that the Mavericks put out the Lakers, bro. The Lakers just came off the chip. Everybody expected the Lakers to win, bro, that year, bro. And then on top of that, then in the finals, they had to face the Heat that was stacked and had a big 3. That was crazy. So I mean, you can kind of say the same. Like they both had like the odds were stacked against the Pistons and the Lakers, bro. So
come on, as far as Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, Dallas.
Dirk though, bro.
So,
but look, that's one dude, bro, and nobody respected Dirk.
Wait,
to
what?
be honest, bro.
What?
Nobody respected Dirk. Though,
wait,
bro.
what?
who can respect Dirk?
No,
Dirk
I
was
don't think nobody respected Dirk.
You said Dirk not a Hall of Famer?
No, he said they didn't respect him. That's what he said.
They didn't really respect him as a superstar like that, like just scoring, like he was just a scorer, basically. Is what I'm saying. That's the only. What are y'all talking about, bro?
Okay, so wait, hold on, wait.
How y'all get he not a Hall of Famer based on what I just said?
No, I just tried to help him out. He was saying that.
I want to say something. So this is since we got it down to like the threes, like a three-way tie, or whatever. Like I want to just show like why I feel like mine is just like different. So comparing, that doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm just like showing you like where I'm coming from. So starting with the 2011 Mavericks, I feel like with them, first off, the Mavs, they like ran through the West. Like they swept the defending champions, the Lakers, swept them. They beat the Grizzlies, which was a tough team. And then they beat the Thunder, I believe.
Jeez.
But look, and then by the time they got to the finals, I feel like that was more about LeBron folding. Like, because I don't really think that JJ Barea can really hold Bron. I think Bron just folded under the pressure in that series. So I feel like in that series, it was more about Bron losing than it was really the Mavs winning. And the Mavs were still really good anyway. And then you take it to the Pistons. It was really close, so this one can honestly go either way with me. But kind of what like D said, I feel like that Pistons team don't just get enough respect in general. I feel like
they don't.
When they matched up really, really good against the Lakers, like Rip and Tayshaun taking turns on Kobe, Ben Wallace, like you can't really shut down Shaq, but he slowed him down. Him and Sheed,
you can help slow him down for sure.
Yeah, you can slow him down, but like you're not stopping him,
bro.
And then
Shaq was abusing Ben. They just stopped going to him.
No, he slowed him down. He was not abusing.
The number.
Not abusing Ben.
That's a bad word to use, bro.
And then to take it further, I feel like the Pistons, like everybody know how good that defense was. Nobody on the Lakers team, nobody else outside them two averaged more than 6 points during that series. Nobody. So like the Pistons just had a good defensive team, and they were well rounded.
They still were big underdogs in that series.
I'm not fighting. I told you it was a tie. It was a tie for me. So like, I had to give it a nod to the Heat.
Close.
It was close.
They big underdogs to people that's not paying attention to the actual game. Like if you just look at Lakers versus Pistons with Kobe and Shaq, they big underdog. But like if you actually pay attention, they not underdogs.
This is way deeper.
No, Derek, that was the question. Like who's on paper? Who was the bigger underdog?
I ain't.
Like
breaking it down, the Pistons had
the All-Star game.
Hey, y'all hold on. Y'all talking at the same time, so it sounds crazy.
Okay, with Detroit, remember in the All-Star game, they put the 4 Pistons and Paul Pierce on, and they were down 20.
I remember that.
That was after.
Yeah, that was like 2006. That was 06.
That was way after way after the final.
That was 06, yeah.
I thought that was
way after.
That was 06.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like they played defense on a completely different level.
If anything, you just made my point because that was 06. So that was the year the Heat won the championship. So like the Pistons the Heat beat that team in the playoffs. So they had 4 current year All-Stars at that time, ran through them, started 0-2 down to the Mavs. Wade went off with no help. Like how many other people you can name on that Heat team that was really hooping? It was Wade against the Mavs.
They had a squad on paper. He had that 06 team had a squad on paper.
They was washed. A lot of washed superstars.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but
I like
Morning. They had Gary Payton in like his final year.
We talking about with the Heat.
Yeah, that 06 team.
I think they had Antoine Walker too for a minute, didn't they?
They had White Chocolate.
He wasn't really hooping.
Yeah,
but I'm saying they still had.
That's what I mean. They had names, but like they wasn't really doing.
Well, I'll say this. Mike, I just text Mike because I can't add him because there's too many people in here. But Mike just said he picked the Pistons. Sorry. So,
yeah, I bet you would tell us.
He ain't in the chat, bro.
It was close for me though.
Bro, I'll FaceTime him right now and let him explain.
You would tell us that only because it's yours, huh? Zell?
Yeah, you say no.
Hey, Zell,
I need a laugh, bro.
All right,
I need a
cuz.
laugh. Go ahead and do it.
I'm about to call him. Hold on.
Zell, you weak, bro.
Good,
Hey,
man.
bro,
My boy Reed.
I'm just relaying the message, B. Who left? Why Derek leave?
Derek.
What? Oh, Derek.
Oh,
What happened?
Derek just left.
Mm.
I'm about to add Mike then. I'm about to tell Mike to come back. His name Mike.
So,
Mike basically said the Pistons, which is funny.
like that Pistons team is probably one of my favorite all
The
time.
95 Rockets is a sleeper though.
Oh, easily, hands down. I agree with that.
I can see why I didn't know that they were underdogs for real.
See, I think it's a struggle for me because I'm not.
They they swept the Magic.
Hold on,
I didn't.
Yeah, Lo, you breaking up?
You breaking up bad.
Say it again, Lo.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mike.
I can't hear what you're saying. Lo, what you say?
Lo,
what up?
What was you saying?
Yeah, what'd you say? Hold on, Mike.
What did I say? Oh, the 95 Rockets. I didn't know that they were underdogs against the Magic, but apparently they was, and they swept them. So that's a sleeper underdog team too, especially with the Magic being one of them teams that everybody thought was gonna come up and be something for real. They shut that down real quick. This had to be the year Mike was retired or the year he came back.
That was the year he came back in the Magic.
He
beat him
came
in the
back.
final.
But Houston had won
The year they beat
The Eastern Conference Finals, I mean.
And then they went to the finals.
Houston won.
I feel like it's hard for me to call them an underdog when they won the championship the year before.
They won the championship the year before.
I can't call them an underdog.
They can't be the underdog. They defend the champs.
Right.
Look at what
based on the fact that they was low seeded.
Hey, y'all talking on that?
It was based on the fact that they was low seeded, and then like how Low said that they had a young Shaq Penny, Nick Anderson, D3. They had a squad.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, but they still the defending champ at the end of the day. If you pre,
what I'm saying though, that in Vegas' eyes, that's.
I mean, I get you.
Yeah.
Here, Mike. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say either the Pistons or the Mavs. I say the Pistons because they ain't had no superstar and no all-star to build around. They ain't really had no foundation.
They had all-stars.
They foundation they worked with, and they gave the Lakers business. And I say the Mavs is because I think
wait, who you picking, boo?
What are we talking about, bro?
Hey, Jawan, dog.
He all over the place right
Derek over there shaking his head like.
Oh my God, bro. Not even.
The Mavs too, because the Heat supposed to have won. The Mavericks were so unathletic. The Heat supposed to have won it, but they just let Dirk light them up.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's the reasoning that gets me.
I agree with
who
that.
did you pick, Mike?
Yeah,
like, who one is it,
Mike,
bro?
who you pick?
You got to pick somebody.
Wait.
I'm on the same fence though.
Hold on. You said you got to pick somebody, bro.
I say the Pistons.
All right,
Man, bro, get him off the phone, bro. No, bro, no. Get him off.
Come on, bounce right now.
Oh, hang up.
He said
he made a bigger case for the Mavericks.
Right.
Hey,
right.
I'm just relaying the message.
The Pistons ain't had no superstar. They didn't have a superstar. That's cool, but matchup wise, they was the better team. I can't call them the underdog.
Like
you said.
I said the reason they called them the best five alive, bro. Like they had at every position, bro. They had somebody who could hoop and do it well, bro. Like it was the reason it was called that. Nobody else was as balanced as the Pistons.
Okay, pause though. How many Hall of Famers? Right? You think any of those players from the Pistons go to the Hall of Fame? I got 3.
Rasheed.
I got 3 that go to the Hall of Fame.
I got Ben for sure.
I got Ben, Sheed, and Chauncey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
They got 3 Hall of Famers.
Ben who?
Chauncey's not going to the Hall.
Ben, Sheed.
Bro, Chauncey for sure gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Rasheed is going to the
Hall of Fame.
Rasheed's going to the Hall.
Chauncey's going before he goes.
I
don't think Ben's going to the Hall.
I don't think
Ben's not going to the Hall.
Greatest defensive players ever. He's definitely going.
Defensive player of the year
Ever.
award.
We'll see.
He ain't got no off the court issues, so you can't say that.
How many defensive player of the years did Ben Wallace win? 4?
3 or 4.
I never seen.
He's an NBA champion. Like, bro, he's
not a Hall of Famer.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
At least not. I'm saying he's not gonna get in that boy when he, you know what I'm saying, OG type tip. I think Rip could squeeze in there.
Hold on, though.
No, I like Rip, but he ain't gonna make it.
I like Rip.
How long has Ben been out the league?
Status, bro.
He about to leave for at least like
it's like 10 years, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Has he been put on the ballot?
Ain't like
I don't know. He's not gonna be first ballot.
Yeah,
he's not first ballot.
Nah, yeah, he's not first
ballot.
But
how long does it take you to get voted on?
I think you got to be out of the league for like 4 years or 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
4 years. So yeah, he's not first ballot.
He gonna go regardless.
He gonna go.
You don't think he's a Hall of Famer for real, Rich? Why?
Ben Wallace is one of my favorite defensive players ever and a great rebounder. But I don't think what I'm gonna say probably is not gonna make sense. Like defensively, he was amazing. He was amazing.
Oh, man, it's already.
But like when it comes to the Hall of Famers, bro, you tend to think of offense or all around players. Offensively, he was limited.
Bro, you know how big of an impact he was on defense? You know how bad the defense was when the Pistons defense was when he left to go to Chicago?
Wait a minute. Rodman was limited offensively. He's a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Well, I mean, he was a little bit more active on
check Rodman's stats versus Ben's, bro. And I'm not taking up from
I know that, but I'm saying, bro,
he got five All NBA.
Same thing.
Hold on.
Ben is a Hall of Famer, bro. I'm sorry. He's going.
He a 4-time All-Star. He an NBA champ, 6-time All-Defense, 5 All-NBA, 4 Defensive Player of the Year. He got 2 rebounded championship, not rebound, 2 rebounded records, and then 1 blocks. Led the league in blocks.
I apologize. His whole resume just didn't come out to me. Like off of that, he Hall of Fame. But why is he not in yet though? How many years has it been?
I mean, it happens.
Off of what you just said, that's not wait his turn. That's not first ballot,
bro. You know how many? Who was it?
2020 is Chauncey's year,
bro. Who was it in the NFL like 4 or 5 times for him to get in the Hall of Fame? Not Terrell, but it's somebody else that was actually good, and it took him a minute to get in there. I can't think of his name, but that can technically be the same thing for Ben. He's going to get in. Like his stats was already in the foundation of it.
Yeah, like him and Chauncey.
His resume is better than I thought it was, and I'm a Ben fan. I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's why I was pissed when he left to go to Chicago. Shoot, that defense was horrible. We had McDice.
He wanted that money.
Call that boy
McBad.
Nice though.
I understand. I really do. But it's getting close to that time to wrap this girl up. So I want y'all to like and subscribe. If y'all enjoyed this, comment, share. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back next week for another hot discussion. Back with the fellas, and Mike ain't gonna be on here. Y'all stay safe, stay social distancing.
Put in your orders too.
Put y'all hoodie orders in too, man. Put y'all hoodie orders in. This is the hoodie.
Y'all take care. Be safe.
Yeah.
Can I get my new hoodie, please?
It'll be here Thursday. Y'all do what y'all do.
Man, I don't want none of that shit.
Appreciate it.